I'm here to talk to you about my evidence too. This one is about how the popular culture and comic books from the Marvel Universe reflect changing United States mores. First, we need to understand the problem. So when I was doing the investigation for all of this, I noticed that there were three main problems. First, Captain America and Iron Man representing a clash of cultures and ideals of the American man. Then the sectors that are being left out in this conversation of superheroes and who take the lead. And then what message is being conveyed. So to start, we have Captain America and Iron Man. They represent very different ideals for the modern man in the United States. There are lectures which are mainly from when she starts writing on how comic books are being used to teach United States history. Captain America is portrayed as the ideal man of the 1940s. He's white, he's tall, he's strong, he's basically a super soldier. What he fights for is for freedom and the protection of rights. But then we have Iron Man. He represents genius, billionaire, philanthropist, playboy. His superpower is also happening to be, in some cases, the main source of problems, which it really reflects on how the United States and the government have been known for having similar experiences. So when these two men meet in civil war, we can see in the film that there are consequences to conflict. And we have seen this historically in the United States, on Europe, in most aspects that this film is inspired of in history, whether it be the World War, whether it be with the creation of the United Nations, whether it be with the terrorist attacks of 9/11, all those things make up for the conflict, right, and civil war, which is that no one is really truly right. If we see the Captain American side of the story, he represents in all his team is aiming for not being compliance of these international organizations. It has also happened in the fact that there have been countries, and especially the United States, that has withdrawn from these initiatives. But also we can see the other side when there is this willingness to be part of these solutions, and it represents what we have seen in class, the clash of cultures, because there's the ideal thing that this portrayal of 1940s Captain America, what an American man should be and look like, with this one that is like a more modern version of what the American man should do and be. It's a really complex thing with both of these characters, which we can, it would be better to make it another separate video for this. But now we're going to pass on to problem number 2, which is what are the sectors are being left out. There are little to no representation of women, Black and Indigenous people of color, and LGBT community. Throughout this phase, this historical context that we are seeing is a lack of diversity. But when we look at the newer phase of the Marvel Universe, there are more women and there are more people of color. Nevertheless, it's getting there. Finally, is the message that's being conveyed. What I can interpret from this is that first there was a sense that the United States was the main place for things to take place. As a society, when events like 9/11 happened, and when they started taking action, the wars that took place when this was created, there became the sense of responsibility for the United States, as a nation, to step up and go there and be willing to accept the responsibility of fighting and protecting the rights and freedom of everyone in the world. Compare it to this new phase and this new generation of superheroes that are not fighting in the United States. They are fighting for the universe, which is really representing how the United States and the world in general is being more driven towards a globalized way of working through things and working through problems. And finally, to give a brief recap on and close off with gender perspective, Captain America and Iron Man really represented a phase and a generation of how back the United States was back then. But right now, when we're looking at how the United States has changed in its mores, we're seeing a lot more representation. There has been a sector of the people that see this and have not been willing to welcome these heroines as they deserve. But that really also reflects the fact that historically it's been really difficult for women to be able to take up space and claim the power that they hold. So when we look at all of these things combined, there's really a hopeful outcome for how the United States has portrayed, like before with Captain America and Iron Man, like what was it to be an ideal man, American man, and also to right now with this newer generation, like diversity and inclusion and collaboration, which are like really, it's really hopeful and good to see that there is this like representation of changing mores in like popular culture through the Marvel universe. This was my very first time doing this, and I'm really excited to do more. I really enjoyed it, and thank you very much for being here and listening for all of it.